What's up, everybody? Well, that was kind of weird. I definitely had the camera turned around and it did not start on the other. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Should have started on this view. That's okay. All right, because I was not prepared to be facing the camera. Anyway, I think we're on ration 5. I think this is the 5th MRE out of the, well, most current cases I have, but somewhat current menus. We're 3 years behind, obviously. I haven't seen 2025s yet. I have seen 2024s, which are those new style, kind of like the Ameriqual double packaging. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. The new stuff is kind of disappointing to even look at. I don't have any yet, but I mean, from what I've seen, obviously I've watched some videos on them, some other people that have had them. I don't have any desire to run out and get them. Yeah, it's a big deal in the MRE world because of a huge package change, because that's exactly what it is. I mean, we have had these MRE bags since 2008, so from 08 to, I don't think they changed in 23, so 08 to 23, 15 years. And before that, we had them from 96 to 08 was the second bag style. Well, technically, not the second, but if you break it down into differences. All right, let me make a real quick post about this live stream. Okay. We will walk outside here real quick. Just a second. Before it's too dark. Create a post. Select more photos. Oh, dang it. Gotta get the link. I don't think anybody... Let's try this again. All right, done. Okay. Oh, well, it says there's people in here, but the chat is not working for me right yet. Hang on. Go to live chat. All right, I'll flip the camera around. I'll show you guys why I didn't get to stream earlier this week. You want out, buddy? Come on. Come on, Minnie. Come on. Come on. Come on, Minnie. Minnie, go. Come here. Yeah. Oh. Minnie. Go on. All right. So I did finally pick up a truck. Here it is. I mean, it's a truck. Nothing. Is my zoomed in or something? Jeez. I have to stand that far back. Anyways, that's the reason why I didn't get to stream earlier this week. I mean, again, it's new to me. It's not a new truck. It's new to me. It's got the spray and bed liner and stuff. It's not that It's literally just a truck. That's my, well, that's a lawnmower tire off my father-in-law's mower. It does have a dent. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Right. Yep, there it is. Right by the gas tank, kind of. See it? On the bed. There it is. There it is. Right there. It's nothing major. It's pretty close to where the gas tank's at. Sometimes it looks worse than other times. I don't know. It's pretty basic though. It's got relatively low miles for what it is. For the year, I just needed something to pull a trailer that I could haul stuff in. That was going to be reliable, and I think this is it. I do think this thing is going to be reliable, but hey, I will find out. It does have the trailer mirrors on it, which is nice. Looking for a set of wheels and tires for it right now. I mean, I don't mind these ones that are on it. I just would like to have a set of wheels and tires on it. It's got 96 463. It had like 95 something on it when I got it. I think it was 90. Yeah, it was 95 something, I'm sure. But it's got the small basic radio. I'm coming to maybe I prefer that, actually. I don't know. It's just more to go wrong with the big ones. But this thing is quiet. It's extremely quiet inside the truck.
Hey, just let you all know, Papa tonight, so you'll stay around. Exciting. Wait, what? Oh, wait. So you working on the house? It's pretty quiet. With the tow package, so that's good. It does have the tow package. Trailer brake, full drive, and extremely ice cold air.
anybody hear me now? Did that happen to work? I hope that worked. If that didn't work, then I'm going to have to restart. Anybody hear me now? You can hear me? Wait, it's real low? That's weird. What is going on? I don't think there's any adjustments on this microphone. There's two microphones. Now it's loud and clear? Okay, because I got this little, like, goofy, I don't know, I like, TikTok, bought off a TikTok shop or something, which I've not bought anything off TikTok shop yet. But that you'd see something like that. Okay, so this microphone's working way better than this microphone. That's what it sounds like. I'm going to put this one up here. I'm going to keep this one. Can't keep it in my hand, so let me trying to put it right. Really don't want to restart the stream, although it probably wouldn't hurt to restart, honestly. Still doesn't make any sense why I'm having sound issues, and then it works when I plug this in. I'm just holding is the one connected, the other one is not connected. That's very possible, but they're both connected actually. I've got a splitter on it. Can't show you. Maybe I can. Yeah, I can. Alright, just hang on a second. Let's see. Okay. Let me unplug it and see if we got sound with just, yeah. Can you hear me now? Be cool if you guys could hear me. On occasion. You can hear me? Can you hear me? Ha! So just plugging a microphone in fixed whatever the issue was. Alright, well good. So I don't have to worry about it. Okay. Well, I don't need this now. Bought this thing a long time ago, and if I ever do need one, I just use my son's. But it's good to keep it in the box so I don't lose it because it's so little. Again, I never use it. Alright, good deal. Let's get through this case now. Let's get this case opened up. Before anybody was here, man, that whole time I was out there talking about the truck, nobody heard me. That's crazy. That is crazy. Alright. So the reason that I didn't stream earlier is because I got a truck out there. It doesn't matter. Got a truck. Was talking about the different bag designs earlier. These are menus current to me. I don't plan on going through all of these. I think this is 5 or 6. I can't remember. This is either number 5 or 6 out of the, to me, current cases, current menus. This is what they'd hand out right now. 2022, 2023 is very common of what would be handed out in today's current. Anything active duty, guys would be using these right here. Guys and gals. Now, there is obviously a change in the MRE that we have seen. And I think they've made some pretty drastic changes, if you ask me, other than just the bag. But let's just talk bag style for 1 second. This is the third bag style of MREs. We had the first era of brown bags, which there's a couple different styles of those. First era didn't have the big numbers on them, the big menu numbers. And then we had the second bag style, which was with the big menu numbers. And then we had in 1996, we got our first tan bags, which that ran from 96 all the way up until 2007. And then in 2008, we got the current style that we have right now. There was two different styles of that as well. We had the first style from 2008 all the way up to 2013. And then in either 13 or 14, I can't remember, I think it was 14, they introduced French with the NATO agreements, and we had French on all of our MRE bags, and that is still there currently today. I don't have one handy. Do I not have one handy? Huh. Hold on. Surely I do. Guess not. Huh. I got a great big bag over here, or box over here that Dan sent, but I do not see Dan in the chat, so I will not be opening the box that Dan sent. I just want to go ahead and get right into these. I'm pretty hungry today. I've not eaten anything today. What was the last thing I ate? Last night I had a day-old taco. Did I eat anything else? I think that's all I had yesterday, food-wise. Like real food. I had a snack, but trying to eat way less. I've been doing pretty good. I think I've probably lost 10 or 15 pounds. I'm doing a lot better. So, I feel better too. Eternal grandfather served during the Vietnam era. He confirmed that some of the rations he was issued were left over World War II, and they had never actually went to Vietnam. Wait, don't know. Your grandfather, he served during Vietnam era, and he confirmed that some of the rations that he was issued were left over from World War II, and he never actually went to Vietnam. Okay, so I have actually heard that same talking point story from a lot of guys from that era. A lot of guys that were in the 60s, early 70s were apparently issued what they were calling World War II rations. They could have been. They could have been K rations. They could have been early C rations. Again, I have heard the stories. I've also heard the stories of a lot of guys. Who was it? It may have been Smoke, the guy that I know that works at SNL. I think he was telling me that he was in charge of, like, the stores is what I call it. I think that's what they call it too. Anyway, but like where cigarettes and you buy chewing gum and stuff like that. I think it was him. My memory isn't serving me on who told me this story, but anyways, they were in charge of if guys wanted to come up and buy gum or cigarettes or probably deodorant and toothpaste and stuff like that. Well, they had him go through pallets of what he told me were World War II rations. And he went through the World War II rations and took out the cigarettes and anything else that was not perished, like not non-perishable or hadn't went bad. He went through all that. And that would have been back in the late 60s, early 70s that he would have been doing that. Maybe even up into the mid-70s. But he said he went through and took everything that was good out of the World War II rations, and then they had to dispose of the rest. So they obviously had a huge stockpile, because I don't think really that they were prepared for the war to end when it ended in 45. I think they had planned and thought that it was going to go on longer than what it ended up. And I think they had produced a whole bunch of rations that they ended up holding the bag on. They just ended up with a whole pallets and pallets full, airplanes full, tons of rations left over that sat around for a long time. even though they rolled straight into the Korean War, and they did use up a lot during that as well. There were a lot of ration changes going on and trying to be more efficient. And then it seems like for some reason, whenever we got up into the Vietnam era, it was either a budgeting issue or something where they were using up a whole lot of old stuff. And I don't just mean food, I'm talking all kinds of stuff like clothing and mess kits and everything. Like, I've heard stories. Obviously, I didn't live it myself, but these guys, I'm sure they know what they're talking about. Most of them, anyway. I mean, obviously, they can make mistakes, but yeah, apparently, that is correct. A lot of guys during the Vietnam era, whether they were over there or over here, it didn't matter. They were using them everywhere. I guess it wasn't just like they were left over sitting in America and they wanted to use them up. I guess they were actually shipping those old 40s rations over and using them. So I've heard that. I've heard that quite a few times actually. More. I don't know. I guess just more and more I hear it from different people. Guys in World War II who were still using World War One pattern. Oh yeah, definitely. The mess kits. I mean, the mess kits. They don't go bad. I mean, really, unless they. Well, I guess some of them can rust, but yeah, there was a lot of guys. Well, there was what I used to know the number on this. They had a Civil War reunion, a 50-year reunion, which would have put it at 1916, right? 1865, 50 years would put it 1916. And there were guys that showed up from all over the country. They came in, and the United States issued all of them mess kits and some other stuff, maybe mess kits and canteens and stuff, because they were all camped. Some of them it took 3, 4, 5 days to get there from California. They came. I think it was in Gettysburg is where they had the reunion, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and check my history on that, but it seems like they had the reunion at Gettysburg, and a lot of the guys, the survivors of World War II, you got the Confederate and the Union side together, and they were camping together and breaking bread together. You know, just thinking about what that could have been like. And that was right during the World War I era. And those guys got issued a whole bunch of, I mean, I want to say it was 350,000 guys that showed up. I could be wrong. I can't remember the number. It was over 50,000, my memory serves me. It could have been in the hundreds of thousands. I'd need to go back and check. But it was a huge event. And I think it lasted 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. Really cool, though. And there was a lot of mess kits made for that. The World War I era mess kit was hugely mass produced. And there was tons of them out there. Thought I had one sitting here. I guess I don't. It's here somewhere. I got a World War One. I got a World War II. I've got a Vietnam era. Got a World War II mess or canteen and cup. I have a Arctic, which is the round one, which is kind of neat. It's got the real thick rubberized neck on it so that your lips don't stick to it when it's minus something degrees outside. Several 1966 mess kits in your eBay watch list. I don't really have I haven't come across like a surplus of them anywhere to like buy up 5 or 10 of them, because if I did, I would buy them up and give them away. I've only picked up one of different stuff that I didn't have. I picked up a few from Bob over the years, like a Kazakhstan and maybe a Swedish and an East German. Canteens, most of them. Well, there's mess kits too. But yeah, I've got quite a collection of mess kits and canteens and stuff that I don't have displayed. I don't have them put up anywhere. I'm not even sure what. I think this one's, it's got sticky stuff all over it. I think it had a sticker on it. This says BB68. Yeah, flip the camera. I don't know if this is British or not. I assume it's 1968. And then below it, it says PSL. It's dirty. Whatever that sticky stuff is on there. Dan just texted and said that he is in a meeting. Answer him back real quick. But Dan sent, oh, great big old box here. And as you can see, Customs got into it. They cut through all kinds of stuff in there. I can hear it. I can hear loose stuff in there. They didn't repack it right. They didn't. And they sent me a letter saying that I ordered embezzling tobacco. And you know what? Whatever. Come get me, I guess. I mean, I didn't order anything. Doesn't matter. Just anybody that ever does, maybe, just never write that stuff down. Just never write it down. If they ask, just don't verbalize it. Don't write it down. Yeah. Because if you do, this is the result. It's unfortunate. And stuff that couldn't be replaced, too. I mean, it could be, but not really. Not really. So, I am going to actually look up this week what is in each ration, because I don't want to get stuck with a bunch of crap that I don't want to eat. I don't want a bunch of peanuts or just stuff I don't like. I want to actually eat what I want to eat this week. So let's go to the MRE menus page on MREinfo.com. If you guys aren't a part of MREinfo.com, you should go over there, join up. K-Man will approve you. Tell him that Oldsmokey sent you, and he'll get you approved to be part of MREinfo.com. There's a forum on there with trading and buying of different rations from all over the world. It's certainly worth your time. Learned that trick with Vegemite. Is not to glob the stuff on American style biscuit like it's butter or jelly. Yeah. Vegemite is an acquired taste, I would call it. Hi, Minnie. Hi. Yeah, Stella's not in here, honey. Come here. Come see me. Come here. Oh, come see everybody. Oh, you get fur all over me. There's my baby. Look, you're shedding. Yeah. Oh, does that feel good? Does that feel good? Oh, you want me to scratch your ear? Oh, okay. Oh, I know, baby. I know. I'm gonna put some drops in your ears. If you got ear mites, I can take care of them. I got medicine for that. Yeah. There's a pretty girl. There's a good kitty. Yeah, you look mean. She's always got that mean face on. Like, kind of, I don't know. She just, I mean, she doesn't always look like that. She just almost always looks like that. Here, this is a good girl. Yeah, it's my Minnie. Yeah. Yeah. Missed you, honey. She runs away from home for a day or two at a time. Don't you? It's good to see you home. It's good to see you home. All right. All right. All right. Got plenty of cat hair on me now, I'm sure. That's okay. I love Minnie. What? Go eat. Go eat. All right. So the most up-to-date menus that K-Man has on here are 2021s. We need to get him updated on 2022s and 2023s at least. 2024s can wait. All right. Menu 13, cheese tortellini and tomato sauce. Comes with dry roasted peanuts, the chocolate peanut spread, which is my favorite. Crackers, trail mix. You get peanuts and recovery trail mix. What are they doing? Why? Why put 3 peanut items? 3 peanut items. Chocolate peanut spread, peanuts, and a trail mix with peanuts. I don't get it. Then it's lemon lime beverage base, electrolyte, crushed red pepper, and accessory packet B. Okay, Mexican rice and bean bowl. Did I have that already? No, I did not, because it comes with the First Strike bar cran raspberry, which is maybe my favorite thing, period, out of MREs. I think I can safely say. It's so unique, you can't get that taste, that flavor, that texture, that whole combination of everything that the cran raspberry First Strike bar is anywhere else. The only place you can buy them, but they come out of MREs. It's hard to get them. I mean, sometimes they pop up on eBay and you can buy them. There for a while, Bob, I guess he was breaking down MREs, and that's how he had individual ones that you could buy a dozen of or 20 of, however many. I know when he did that, I think I probably bought 100, 150 of them. And I should still have a couple of them stashed away somewhere, because they're not going to go bad. I got them sealed up and packed away pretty good. Anyway, Mexican rice and bean bowl, which is a vegetarian option. Comes with the cran raspberry bar. It comes with peanut butter and crackers, pretzel nuggets, honey mustard and onion, a chocolate protein drink, and powdered hot sauce. I have yet to see this powdered hot sauce that they speak of, but I'd like to see it. Menu 15, Mexican-style chicken stew. Comes with a banana and pumpkin fruit puree. Wait a second. Did I have this one? I think I had this one. Right? Mexican-style chicken stew. With the banana and pumpkin fruit puree squeeze. Cheddar cheese filled. Nope, I didn't have this one. So I have not eaten Mexican-style chicken stew. It comes with the banana and pumpkin fruit puree squeeze. Cheddar cheese filled pretzels, jalapeno cheddar cheese spread, crackers, a First Strike bar chocolate, and a chocolate hazelnut protein drink powder. Looks to me like they've kind of packed those stupid things into multiple menus. Menu 16, chicken burrito bowl, comes with recovery trail mix, chocolate chip toaster pastry, tortillas, whole grain, cheddar cheese spread, and powdered hot sauce again. Menu 17 is the maple pork sausage patty. I'm not going through that menu. Menu 18 is beef ravioli. I don't think I've had that one. Salted caramel marshmallow crisp bar. I have had that before. It's I don't know. You either like that one or you don't. You know, it's not really it's okay. I'm not a huge fan of it. I can eat it. It comes with the salted caramel marshmallow crisp bar, cheddar cheese spread, Italian breadsticks, M&Ms, plain, fruit punch, beverage powder, And hot sauce extra hot ×4. What is that? Oh, you like it, Fordman? Yeah. You like the marshmallow thing? Looks rather like a freeze dry. It looks rather like the freeze dried a bunch of Frank's Red hot sauce and ran through a coffee grinder. Oh, really? So you're talking about the hot sauce? I have not had it yet. So, I mean, I like the idea of. I'd like to see them put it in like a little bottle with a shaker on it, so you could keep it for other menus, like, because there's no way I'm going to use all that's in the pack, likely. Just like the Tabasco bottles, like I have only a few times used the entire bottle. Like usually I use maybe a quarter of the bottle or a third of the bottle, and that's plenty. That stuff is so flavorful and overpowering that I don't like a bunch of it usually. Okay, next up we have the jalapeno pepper jack beef patty grilled. Comes with all gratin potatoes, chocolate chunk oatmeal cookie, bacon cheddar cheese spread, tortillas, peanut M&Ms, orange beverage base, sugar free, barbecue sauce, mayonnaise, hot beverage bag, and accessory packet A. Does it not come with ketchup and mustard anymore? Oh yeah, that reminds me. I forgot about this. I have something that I found that I want to try. So let me go through the menus real quick, and then we'll try these Doritos. Ketchup, tangy ketchup Doritos. I didn't even know they made these. Like, I haven't seen any ads, so there's obviously no push for an ad campaign for these. They must just be going through test markets or whatever. I don't know how they're going to get their feedback on this, though, but we'll find out. If they're actually that good, I might try to go online somewhere and say, hey, those things are awesome, because I love the ketchup chips from Canada. They're one of my favorite, for real. So we just went through the jalapeno pepper jack and Italian sausage with peppers and onions. We have already went through that one, or I've already eaten that one. And then we got the lemon pepper tuna. Marble pound cake is what it comes with. Cheddar cheese spread, tortillas, cheddar baked snack crackers, lemon lime beverage base, peanut butter M&Ms. That's kind of cool. And that's the lemon pepper tuna. Not a huge fan. Menu 2, 22 beef goulash. We had that one, right? Chunky peanut butter, yeah. Wait a second. No, I have not eaten the beef goulash. So there's the menu 22 beef goulash that is beef with brown sugar, with brown rice, spinach, carrots, tomatoes, and smoked paprika. Comes with applesauce, chunky peanut butter, strawberry preserves, whole wheat bread, mini loaf, patriotic sugar cookies, orange beverage base powder, and accessory packet B. Menu 23 is the pepperoni pizza slice. Comes with apples in spiced sauce, jalapeno cheddar cheese spread, vegetable crackers, oatmeal cookie, chocolate protein drink powder, lemonade sugar free, and then menu 24 is Southwest style beef and black beans. It comes with the cherry and blueberry cobbler, applesauce pound cake, teriyaki beef stick, which is yuck, cheddar cheese spread, chipotle. I think I did have that one. I think I've had that one. Let me go take care of Minnie really quick, because she's going to drive me crazy. Yep. Go. Go. All right. All right, we'll pick a menu here in a second. Time to try some tangy ketchup Doritos. Amber, do you want to try these? Of course, she's not going to answer me. Let's see what our ingredients list looks like down here. So 380 calories in this whole bag. Wow. Kind of a lot. No more than what it weighs. It's only 2.58 ounces, so 2.5 ounces, a little over. So we got corn, vegetable oil, which is the chip itself. Sugar and less than 2% of tomato powder. Sodium diacetate or diacetate. Salt, onion powder, potassium, salt, garlic powder, corn, maltodextrin. Wait a minute, corn maltodextrin is one. So, maltodextrin made from corn. Natural flavors. What's natural flavors? Contains milk, spices, yeast extract, citric acid. Contains milk ingredients. Anyway, smart label. Another level of sweet, tangy crunch. Let me go make sure. I did buy 2 bags of these. I don't think she opened the other bag. I want to try these Doritos Amber. Fucking drunk. All right. Here we go. I forgot about having these. That smells like something I've had before. It's like a sweet, it smells like almost like a sweet barbecue. Let's get a good one. That looks like a really good one. Are they all like that? There's a pretty good one. Huh. Well, anyway, there's a good one. I'm going to try the best one I can find, though, this one. Alright, well. Ketchup flavored Dorito. Ooh. Gracious. Down the hatch. Huh. I like the ketchup flavor. It actually tastes like ketchup. The tomato part of it is kind of slightly sweet, but it's also got a slight amount of heat on the back end of it. Just barely. I'm not really a fan of the mixed with the tortilla chip. I feel like, and I know it mixes well with a potato chip. But what I will say, these are going to mix really well with all kinds of stuff. It'd be good with ranch, like the Frito-Lay ranch dip. It'd be good with salsa. These would be really good with salsa. French onion dip. You could make all kinds of interesting snacks with these. Let's go with a standard covered one here. Let's see if it's got much flavor. Not bad. Yeah, those are pretty good. Better than I thought they'd be. Good luck finding them. I actually found these on our way back from Columbus. I think it was a Speedway or a 7-Eleven. I can't remember what kind of gas station. I know it used to be a Speedway. I don't know if it still is. I think it might be a 7-Eleven now. But yeah, I'd buy these again. I'm not like overly impressed or anything, but I think if they continue to make these, or if they just make these will do well. And I may actually go out of my way to go online and provide some feedback. I should just do a real quick taste test video, because they love that kind of stuff. Online feedback. Anybody got any questions about those? Because again, if you can find those, I do recommend getting them. If you like ketchup stuff. If you think you'd like them, you'd like them. All right. So I guess I had the Italian sausage with peppers and onions. Apparently. Ugh. Yep, I opened this one upside down. Kind of like a doofus. Goulash. I think I've had that menu, but loose. So, I've not had the full menu. Southwest beef and black beans. I think I ended up with 2 tunas. You guys remember that? I think I have 2 tuna menus in here. There's the beef patty. There's the chicken burrito bowl. I love that menu. It's been a while since I had it. Not eating that one. I'm saving that one. I just had it recently anyways. Beef ravioli and meat sauce. Also a contender. I could go for some raviolis. Chicken chunk. Couldn't figure out what this thing. I don't know what this. I remember this now. But there's got something weird in it that I can't figure out what it is. And we looked it up, and nothing that it says it should have in it. This had to have taken the place of the tuna, because there is not a tuna in here. I remember that. Now, I thought there was 2 tunas. No, there was 2 chicken chunks. Mexican style rice and bean bowl. Oh, I got 11 of these on this. Cheese tortellini and tomato sauce. Vegetarian. Mexican style chicken stew. That's a favorite of mine. Really like that menu. I'm going to flip this thing over like this. So now I can just put them in the right way. What did I just pull out of there? Oh, pizza slice. The pepperoni version. Pepperoni. Yeah, we're not doing the pepperoni pizza today. Not doing this one. Even though I'm really curious about whatever this is. Maybe it's the chicken. I mean, that's a weird shape if that's the chicken pack. If that's the chicken, I don't think it is. It's weird, though. I don't know what's in there. I remember looking it up and not being able to figure out what in the world that item could be. Even if it's got the tuna stuff in it. We looked at both. So I have not had this one, the Mexican style rice and bean bowl. Someone did tell me that this was pretty good, though. What else is in this one? It's menu 14. It's the last vegetarian option. Let's see. That's got the first strike bar cran raspberry. It's got peanut butter. It's got crackers. It's got pretzel nuggets. And the chocolate protein drink with the powdered hot sauce. Okay. We've got the cheese tortellini and tomato sauce, the other veggie version, or option. That is dry roasted peanuts, chocolate peanut spread, crackers, recovery trail mix. Oh yeah, that's the double peanut. I'm good with that. Triple peanut, sorry. Triple peanut variety options. Mexican style chicken stew. Again, one of my favorites. And I'm actually wanting to eat something that I really want to eat tonight. So, pretty hungry. Cheddar cheese filled pretzels, jalapeno cheddar cheese, crackers for strike bar chocolate, hazelnut protein drink. Nope, not eating that one either. Side's got to make sense for me here. Beef ravioli. What's that got in it? That's menu 18. Salted caramel marshmallow crisp bar, Italian breadsticks, cheddar cheese spread, M&Ms, and fruit punch drink, and hot sauce. Extra hot times 4. That's a contender. Beef ravioli is a contender, I'll call it. Chicken burrito bowl. I hadn't even really considered that one earlier, but that's a contender, I think. Nope. Recovery trail mix, chocolate chip toaster pastry, whole grain, cheddar cheese spread, powdered hot sauce. Probably not. Plus, to be honest, it's pretty tiny. I do like the main in this one, though. The chicken burrito bowl is pretty awesome. Although I think they do need to add rice to that. Because I don't think that doesn't have rice in it, does it? Hang on. Does it? Chicken burrito bowl? Oh, yeah, it's good. Okay. Chicken with brown rice, beans, and vegetables. Okay. Anyway, I think they could add a side of rice and tortillas with the chicken burrito bowl and really improve it. I think you need to be able to make a wrap out of it. Beef patty jalapeno, pepper jack. I like this menu. I don't like the fact that I didn't see ketchup and mustard on there, though. 19. All comes with... Au gratin potatoes is such a weird side for this menu. They've been doing it for years now. They need to pick something else. I don't know if you guys remember those old potato sticks that used to come back in the mid-90s, early 90s, maybe even up into the early 2000s. They were... You could buy them at, like, your local grocery store. The little skinny, tiny potato sticks that are dried out, little slivers of potatoes that are salted, and I assume deep fried, like extremely deep fried, or baked maybe, I'm not sure. But they're good. Those should come with this, I think, and an extra thing of ketchup. You'd have like a burger with almost fries. Those things are really good. But yeah, this comes with au gratin potatoes, chocolate chunk oatmeal cookie, bacon cheddar cheese spread. I ain't seen that in a minute. And tortillas. Yeah. This needs to also come with bread. They need to figure out a bread option. If this came with a bun, like the Canadian bun, they'd have something here. They'd really have something. They'd have a legit... I think I'm going to do that. I need to find a bun. I'm sure I've got one somewhere. I need to find a bun. So I'm going to save that. Get a bun out of a Canadian. And or just take a regular bun, I guess, myself. It doesn't have to be a Canadian bun. But just get a bun and make that thing on a bun instead of tortillas. Southwest beef and black beans. What's that one like? 24. What's in it? Cherry blueberry cobbler. That's good. Applesauce pound cake. Amazing. The stupid teriyaki beef stick, which is kind of gross. Stella ate the last one that I had from a live stream. Chipotle tortillas and sugar-free beverage base. Southwest style beef and black beans comes. You can make a wrap out of it. Cherry and blueberry cobbler along with applesauce pound cake, which I think the cherry and blueberry cobbler should come with a cookie, and you mix the cookie up with it. That's usually what I do. to give it some texture, because if not, it's just a gelatinous mess of gelatinized fruit and like cakey breading. And 22 beef goulash. Beef goulash and applesauce, chocolate, chunky peanut butter, strawberry preserves, whole wheat bread, mini loaf. So I'd really like to see what that mini loaf is. I wonder if it's actually a mini loaf. Does anybody know? Is it actually a loaf, or is it just the typical wheat snack bread type setup? Because on here, excuse the fingerprints, if I were going to buy a new full-size truck and go with an F-150 with the 5-liter instead of the... So I was looking at those, Fordman. Of course, you'd buy a new... you'd buy a Ford man. Well, I was looking at the Ford F-150s with the 5 liters. That's really... I don't know, man. Just something about the turbo motors. I know they're good. I know they produce power. I know they pull good. You know, I know they pull a trailer good from everything that I've read and watched. Because I did my research. This took me like, I spent 2 or 3 weeks just researching trucks and looking at trucks. And finally I was just like, screw it, I got to have one. But if I were going to buy a new Ford from a 2011 up with the 5-liter in it, that's what I'd buy. But in my price range, what I was looking at, there were a few that I thought were decent deals. They had nice interiors, way nicer than what I ended up buying. I really did want leather, so to be quite honest, I probably won't end up keeping this truck very long because of that. I mean, I don't know. If I end up loving this truck, maybe, but we'll see. But yeah, I do like the Fords with the 5 liters with the Coyote motors in them. I like, I was looking at those, and I was looking at the Chevy and GMCs with the 5.3s. I was not going to do a 4.3, 5.3 or a 6.0 in the Chevy and GMCs. I looked at a bunch of those, price ranging from 10 to like 14, 15 grand. But most of them had 150,000 or more miles on them. And the truck that I ended up getting only had 95 something on it when I got it. So, all right. Beef ravioli. I think that's got the hot sauce in it that I want to try. Mexican style chicken stew. What's that one got in it? Can't remember now. It's got the first strike. Mexican. No, wait. Yeah, Mexican. Rice and beans. All right. I don't know. I'm not in the mood for a vegetarian. Like I said, I'm actually hungry tonight, so. Beef ravioli it is. Somewhat boring, but also it's got good side items in it, I think. Decent side items. Not like the best that I could pick, but come on. God. Good enough for now. All right. Easy camera. Good enough. There we go. What does it say? You always had Ford pickups, Ford 250. Oh, you got the 6 liter. I've heard bad things about the 6 liters, but I've also seen a lot of 6 liters with 250,000 miles on them. It's just my neighbor just got one. He didn't have it 2 or 3 weeks, maybe not even that long, and something happened to it. He was just pulling a trailer down the road with it, and supposedly it had been bulletproofed early in its life, they said, but he can't figure it. He doesn't know what's wrong with it right now, but it's making a crazy noise. I think this case, not that the pillow seal don't work that well. All right. That smells like hot sauce for some reason. All right. Well, there is the Recovery Bar Salted Caramel Marshmallow Crisp. Look at that. What an interesting newer item. Who's streaming an RCW? I need to stream an RCW. I've got one that I bought just for the live stream. That's a Rafco. That's been, look, I believe that's a noodle that fell out of Dan's package. I think they cut Dan's stuff all up. Makes me freaking sick. Yeah, this one. It's a menu 3 Rafco, which is scalloped potatoes with pork, and these are the bars and slices. It's got the stupid brownie chocolate covered granola bars, blah blah blah. Yeah. Anyway, I need to do that sometime. Meant to do it when we had a big snow and forgot about doing it. There is the ravioli. It's an Italian dish. We'll look at that in a second. What else? Italian breadsticks. Nice. There is our accessory packet, which is weak as hell. There's our partially biodegradable MRE spoon. Flameless ration heater. Cheese spread, regular type. Oh yeah, plain M&Ms. Nice. It's a nice item to get. And last but not least, fruit punch, beverage base powder. That's everything out of the bag. And it does smell like hot sauce, Tabasco. It smells like Tabasco. All right, so that's everything in there. Let's take a quick look here. 340 calories, not bad, not bad. We got 48 grams carbohydrates, 8 grams of sugar, 1,090 milligrams of sodium, of course. That's pretty typical. All right, let me go get this heating up. Probably let these heat up as well, huh? Yeah, I think so. All right, be right back. What's up, MJ? Okay, so I was getting ready to throw that in there. My water about evaporated off. So I had to throw more in there, and I got to let it heat back up. But what the heck? That came out of that MRE bag looking like that. Kind of looks like a hole. And it's like real solid. It's harder on this end than it is down here. It feels liquidy. I don't know what. This is unusual. I will say that. Like typically when mains come out of an MRE bag, they are clean, puncture free. I've had them be punctured before, but typically it was an older one that had seen a lot of travel. This, we know, I took out of the case. You know, I opened the case. I guess the easiest thing to do would be to go... Yeah, I don't want to lick it. I don't want to see if it tastes like ravioli. It definitely doesn't look good. And it kind of doesn't feel right. Oh, has anybody heard from Miss Marilyn? I just before I started this stream earlier tonight, I saw that St. Louis had a tornado. Like, actually in the city or, like, right outside the city? I don't know. It could have been in Miss Marilyn's area, though. I need to check on her. I can do that. I think she has an iPhone. Let me do that real quick. Just because some of you might be concerned. I know I am. That was yesterday, right? There was a tornado. All right, what I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to take a napkin or something, and I'm going to see if that'll rub off. No harm, no foul there. If it rubs off and there's no puncture, then I'll just eat it. But if there's something there and it's open, I'm not eating it. Because it can be really, really bad. I mean, if it's open, it's rotten. Oh, there was one a couple of weeks ago close to her. I just saw near the city, from what I understood, it was Friday, yesterday. There was a bunch of, like, looting and stuff happening, a bunch of stores. And the person that showed that video brought up a good point. Like, the people that are there doing that live there, those are not community members. Those are not people that want to live in a community. Those are people that are only worried about one thing, like a come up, just to try to get something out of yeah, I don't know. But I understood that. That point made sense to me. Like, they're not really wanting to be a community. They don't want to have a community vibe or a community built even. This is probably just going to wipe right off of here. Even though it does feel weird, it's probably nothing. Let me go grab a napkin or something. Hey, CT, I was just thinking about texting you. Oh, Jesus. Ow. good to see you here, CT. Good to see you here, you Canadian trucker. You. All right, let's see if this wipes off. Not as easily as I was hoping, but okay. Well, what rubbed off on this does have a red tint to it. All right, use my shirt. I don't see anything. I guess it's okay. Weird. Must have just got something on it in packaging when they were packing it up. Huh. Never seem to be free on Saturdays anymore. Miss you guys. Well, we miss you too, dude. Like I said, I was just thinking about you. I meant to text you. I got to get better about texting folks. I really do. My fault. My bad. Cup's water spotted, but I don't care. Or actually, let's just swap it out. And I've been wanting coffee. For a while. Do I have an extra coffee here? Huh. I guess I don't. I thought I had an extra coffee here that I got in an MRE there not too long back. I must have used it for some reason. Well, shoot. All right. Here, let me go throw these in the water, too. Jesus. All right. Going to give that. Set a timer for 3.5 minutes. Okay. There's nothing in here. This is not worth opening. Matches. You got your United States issued butt ration. You got a bottle of Tabasco. Looks to be extremely full. Not even an air bubble in it. A little teeny tiny package of salt because, you know, government got to save money on salt. We need to start saving money on politicians. Let's not pay so many politicians and government workers. How about that? How about that? How about that? You're in northern Alberta. It's smoky as... Oh, I heard about there being some fires up there. I just heard about that today. The person lived in Pennsylvania or Michigan, and they were saying that it was super smoky up there. I'm not even opening this stupid accessory packet. It's pointless. I got Tabasco right here on hand. That's the only thing out there we could use. Let's get what little bit we got up here onto the tray. The heck? Yep, cheese spread. M&Ms. We don't really have a side for this one. That's kind of weird. Are we missing something out of this one? What was supposed to be in here? I feel like we're missing a side. Ravioli, ravioli. Ravioli. Ravioli, ravioli. Here we go. Salted caramel marshmallow bar, cheese spread, Italian breadsticks, M&Ms, fruit punch. Nope. Huh. This is what it's supposed to be. Man, there really should be something else in here for a side. I mean, I got the breadsticks. That's, come on. Not good enough. Nope, got messages from Trucker. Oh, yep. The pictures don't look too awful smoky. Here, I'll open it up. We will show folks at home what he's talking about. Smells like you're sitting in a campfire. Hazy-ish, but it smells like smoke all the time. Yeah. I've been around wildfires before, or I have been close enough to where I got to experience that you're speaking of currently. Well, hopefully everybody's going to be all right up there. Should I just dump? I should probably just dump this out. Let's just do that. It's so freaking stain prone. They really need to back off the dyes. All right, it's time to take that out. I shall do that right now. All right, got the main wrapped up in a towel so it doesn't get cold. Let's get everything else done. So I can eat. I think it's supposed to take 12 ounces. I think that's what it said. 12 ounces. Gotta watch you don't get that stuff on you. It'll stain your fingers. It'll stain it'll stain everything. It's so overly dyed that it's annoying. Huh. I guess I need to grab some more loose MRE spoons. Got a bunch of Canadian ones here. I guess that'll work. Seems how we're having ravioli tonight. A sport could be good. One little tiny splash out there. It'll stain. It'll stain. Oh, it's redder than a stop sign. You got that right. It's redonkulous. Look at that. It's redder than the red on the Superman. Look at that. It looks toxic because it is. Radioactive, whatever. It's not good for you. It's really not good for you, you know? Y'all know that. Which, I mean, it's not like the MRE's supposed to be really good for you, but, you know, they could do better. Look at all the international stuff that we know exists and we've had. Why not be more like that? It's really just don't put the dye in it. We don't need the dye. We really don't. We really don't need it. I guess this goes on the Italian breadsticks, huh? Yeah. As Gundog says, I say it every time, the smaller the hole, the more control. Cheese spread open. Let's open up this recovery bar. Salted caramel marshmallow crisp. 60th day. Look there. Be like February-ish. Like the last day of 28th. Maybe it might be March 1st. Oh, look at that. Did not know it was double packaged. First one of these that I had, trucker sent me. First one of these recovery bars, marshmallow, salted caramel, Yep, trucker sent me. The first one I ever got to try. Years ago. It's been like probably 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know if he remembers that, but trucker, you sent me the first recovery bar like this that I ever had. That says the 38th day. So 38th day on that, but then they packed it in this on the 60th day. Yeah. Not only that, they put a desiccant pack in it. How weird. Double packaged with it. They must not hold up very well. To be double packaged and desiccant pack. Interesting. Oh, trucker, check this out. Look at that. Tangy catsup Doritos, dude. They're actually pretty good. Not as good as the Canadian, I don't think. I don't have a direct comparison in front of me, but I think the Canadian potato chips that are ketchup flavored are better. Let's do ravioli, breadsticks. We'll open the breadsticks last so that they stay warm. Get our ravioli in a bowl. It's hot, real hot. Oh, man. Dang it. Oh, come on. Now I got a messy, torn off edge that I got nowhere to put it. All right, raviolis. Very, very hot, actually. Way hotter than they usually are. Oh, hey now. Usually I let it set for a little bit longer after I've taken it out of the boiling water because it usually takes me longer to get other stuff opened up and whatnot. There's not much to this one. Oh, dude. I know that just came back on my clothing. I'm going to have to deal with this because I don't want my shoes ruined if that's where it landed. What a mess I just made. I'd call that mostly my fault. Where did it go? It's got to be on my jeans or on my shoes. Some carpet. don't know. Got on the lightest colored jeans I could have on. Of course, they're going to stain. Don't you dare. Don't you jump up on my food. Alright, grab a couple napkins. Now I'm good. I'm good. Italian breadsticks. Let's just do it. Nice. Nice and warm. Very Italian smelling. Oregano, but they're nice and warm and pliable. There we go. All right, ravioli. Let's mix this up a little bit. Ravioli with meat sauce got my mouth watering here. It's gonna be no surprises here, I don't think. All right, here we go. Down the hatch. Oh my God, it's hot. Whoa. That tastes weird. No way I had it in the boiling water too long. It tastes like the package. CT just sent another pic. Hang on. Is this the better picture? Yeah. Let's see, like, it looks like it's coming from that way. That, or it's just a smoke line that's in the sky going down through there. Tim, yeah. Like Chef Boyardee, but not as good. The sauce is thicker. The ravioli also has... okay, so I would say the texture on this is slightly better. Man, is it... It's overly hot right now. Hot to eat, or hard to eat. So hot. But my complaint, not enough meat in the sauce. Casey's. Oh, pizza. Is that what you're talking about? Huh. That sauce is weird. It's like really, really pasty. Thick. Reminds me of like a really fine grit mortar. It's like what the texture. I don't know. I don't know what else food wise to compare that to, because it's too thick. But not thick in a good way. Thick in a bad way. Let's see if we can help it out any. Try the Italian breadstick on its own. Which is just a wheat snack bread with a bunch of Italian seasonings in it, like oregano, onion powder, garlic. Better than a wheat snack bread. Slightly sweet with a bunch of Italian flavorings added, or Italian style flavorings, I guess you'd say. Let's add some cheese to it. See if that helps it out. It doesn't take a lot of cheese per bite. It gets really doughy as soon as you start chewing it up. The cheese spread doesn't usually accent very many things well when it comes to... It's usually just overpowering. Usually that's all you can taste. But this is a strong flavor. And I believe the cheese spread does well with it. I think they mix all right. And I'm not a huge fan of the cheese spread. The cheese spread with jalapenos is all right. I mean, it's just this with jalapenos added to it. But, all right. Let's give this ravioli... I swear, it's like if that package was punctured or something, because this doesn't seem right to me. Especially since it was so hot, it should not be this oddly thick and weird. See how it's like, I don't know. Here, I'll pick the bowl up in a second and try all this together. It looks better on camera than it does in person. But this should be thinner. The only well, no, yep, I'm gonna go add a little bit of hot water to it. Just a little bit, mix it up. Move, dude. Used a great big spoon full of water. As you can see, there's water on the top. This might help it. And then again, it might not. Might need more water than that even. So it's just... And I like raviolis too. I even like the Chef Boyardee type like this. Like, I can eat it. I'm a chili mac guy myself. I mean, the beefaroni is what it's called. But well, that's not really chili mac. But the beefaroni, I like the beefaroni better than anything else. That's what I ate as a kid. It's going to take more water, I think. Just a little bit more water to thin it up to where I want it to be. Hang on. One more spoonful. I don't want to end up putting too much in it and ruining it. I mean, it's already not good, but it's definitely better than what it was already. Not so sure we're going to be able to get it to where I want it to be, but it's worth a shot. All right, here we go. Try it with some water added and see if it gets any better. It's better. Still tastes like the packaging though. I only put it might have been in there 4 minutes. Put a timer on it. As soon as the timer of 3.5 minutes went off, I went in there and pulled it straight out. You guys heard the timer go off, and I literally went straight in there. So it shouldn't taste like the packaging. That's what's got me. I don't know. It's kind of weird. No older than it is. The weird like stain that was on it, which is, it's not making my tongue go numb or anything weird, but there's definitely something off about this, I would say. It doesn't just taste metallic either. It tastes like plastic, is what I would describe it. Yeah. It's definitely got a plastic taste to it. I don't like it. Not even a little bit. It's pretty nasty. This is all right. Well, Tim, I would agree, but I've had MRE raviolis plenty of times, and they didn't taste like that. Unless it was just like bad quality packaging, and the packaging broke down inside of it, because that means I'm eating a bunch of plastic that the acidic tomato sauce broke down. It's got almost like a weird, like, spiciness to, I don't know, like a spice, like a flavoring added. But you can tell it's a unintended packaging flavor. Oh yeah, we eat anywhere between 1 and 2 credit cards worth of plastic a week now. I think it's a week or a month, either a week or a month, and our bodies are not getting rid of it like they thought. Scientists up till a couple years ago thought that we were getting rid of all those microplastics. Nope, they're going into our brains and all throughout our body, and we can't get rid of them. This is one of the items that Amber actually likes. I think these thrown in a toaster oven would be pretty decent. Power goes out, hook up the toaster oven or whatever. Chusik, I agree. It's crazy that we send billions and billions, hundreds of billions to other countries. And then this is the crap that we feed to the guys that are out there putting their lives on the line. A lot of them don't come home. This could be their last meal. I mean, what the? This is bullcrap. MREs over the years have gotten worse. Since I have opened this case of 2022s and have been going through them, I haven't liked a whole lot out of it, man. And you go back in the older menus, even like 2019, 2020, they were just better. And the further back you go, the better they were. Taste, quality, you name it. But we could do so much better. They're cooking on such a massive scale and packaging on such a massive scale. Yes, I understand that a few cents is going to make a difference in cost overall because you're making and buying so much. But at the same time, these are the people that deserve to eat well for sure. Like, feed them well, not this. Again, this could be compromised or something. I don't really understand why that tastes the way it tastes. If this is how it's intended to taste from them, I mean, even if you did it in a flameless ration heater, if it came out tasting like that, I'd be disappointed. Miss Marilyn just said she is okay. Well, good. Good, good, good. All right. But yeah, these are okay. It sure as heck ain't no gourmet item. Again, we could do better. We could do better with sides. We could do better with desserts. We could do better with snacks. We could do... This is an alright snack to get, I feel like. But I think there's only 1 or 2 of these for the entire case A and B. There is peanut butter M&Ms in one of them. And peanut. So there's probably 4 packs of M&Ms throughout both cases. Which is okay, commercial item, whatever. I'm not a big M&M fan myself. But if that's all I had, and this was my snack, and like I can't just go to the store and buy what I want, I'm provided these and that's it, I'd be happy to get these. Definitely. There they are. Just eat a small handful of them here. Oh yeah, Reese's Pieces is good, Kaylin. I prefer them 10 times over 10 to M&M's. I like Reese's Pieces. They're pretty good. They got that snack right. I mean, it's the same exact thing as M&M's, just replace the chocolate with peanut butter, but all right, so this is salted caramel marshmallow. That smells like something I've had before. Let me clear my palate real quick. Wow, that's dull. I thought I did. I know I didn't put 12 ounces of water to this either. I only put maybe 10. And it tastes, maybe it's because I just ate the M&Ms. I don't know. Doesn't taste very sweet though. Not for all the sugar and food dye that you're ingesting here. It's all right. I mean, it's artificial. It's slightly pineapple-y, maybe. Cherry, kind of. Just a mix of fruity flavors that equate to a fruit punch overall flavor. But it's pretty dull overall, to be honest. What does this remind me of? This reminds me of something that I've had from the store. Like a caramel apple rice cake with peanut butter on it or something, maybe is what I'm thinking of. That smell. Oh, I'll bet it was a caramel apple rice cake. This is what that smell I'm thinking of. All right. Well, there's your cross section, what it looks like on the inside. Basically exactly like what it looks like on the outside. It looks like there's a little bit of chewiness to it in the center right there. I don't know what that is, but let's give it a try. It has characteristics of a First Strike bar, texture-wise. With that puffed corn. Or puffed ball, I guess is corn. Man, that flavor tastes like something else I've had. And I cannot place what it is. Dang it. What does that taste like? Hang on, I got some peanut butter. I want to add some peanut butter to it. Yeah, why don't you go outside? You just go. I've been eating this peanut butter right here on rice cakes. It's chunky peanut butter. Give it a try. Nope. Didn't improve it. It's kind of all I can taste now. I do taste the salt, you know. It's there. Slightly. I wonder how much salt's in this. %13% of your daily value. 300 milligrams. That's kind of a lot for something like this, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, it is technically kind of a lot. There's a lot of salt and a lot of stuff, though. Weird what that thing in my fingernail has done. I don't even know what happened to it. It's good to see you, CT. You know, I just seen a video about truckers. What they go through. How underappreciated they are. And it's a fact. People do not appreciate truckers the way they should. Most people don't even realize what truckers go through. Everything they sacrifice, everything that they do on a daily basis, all the crap that they put up with other drivers on the road, how stressful the job itself is. I kind of like this thing. Out of everything in here, yeah. That's probably the best thing in there. Had the ravioli been good, it probably would have been second. Because I like a good ravioli, for real. I mean, it's true, dude. You truckers, man. People don't think about it. They really don't. Most people don't even understand. A lot of people have never done heavy manual labor jobs, and they don't understand what it takes to keep the world going around. But truckers are responsible for a ton of what our daily comfort and our daily everything that we do daily, just about. It's just that people don't think about it. And it's kind of sad that it's not more recognized than what it just isn't recognized. People need to stop and think about what it takes to maintain their day-to-day life. You know? Because it's a lot. It takes a lot to maintain the stuff that we have come accustomed to that we don't even put thought into on a daily basis, you know? Like all the food that we eat, the products that are available to us, the parts to our vehicles, keeping those on the road. Truckers move those from one place to another. Gasoline that you put in your vehicle, truckers pick that up and bring it from all over the coasts and from oil rigs in Texas, whatever. Take it to refineries, and then they pick it up from refineries, take it to gas stations. So it's basically everything in one way or another. Let's see what kind of smokes I can find here real quick. I don't think I had one of these last week that came from Delicious. I think I had one of the Camels. One of these little tiny Mocne, Mocne, Mocne. Huh. It's got a really fresh, almost minty scent to the tobacco. It smells pretty good. Doesn't smell like a menthol, just kind of, I don't know, like fresh. It smells really fresh. What'd you say, Fordman? Let's go over to keeping a bag of pipe tobacco top of your on the top of your cabin air filter. Not only makes your truck cab smell like pipe tobacco, but the same smell keeps mice out of your AC system. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Choose a good point. And they get screwed. If you don't, even if you do own your truck, but if you don't own your truck and you're doing the owner, like trying to own it and trying to become an owner operator, and you're paying payments and all that stuff, man, you get screwed big time. The people, and I have thought this for decades because I've been in the manual labor workforce, the types of jobs that keep the lights on, that keep everyone comfortable. I've worked in and out of the coal industry, the power industry. I've done all kinds of jobs like that, right? It's got kind of a soapy aftertaste. But the jobs that I had back then, I'd be making, and you know, let's start talking about back in the 2000s. I was an electrician, which are becoming a lot more rare as far as like trade workers, electricians, carpenters, plumbers, HVAC technicians, stuff like that. You know, residential stuff like that. Now, the electrical work I did was industrial, light industrial and heavy industrial, both. But it all matters. It all matters when it comes to the grand scheme of day-to-day life, keeping things moving, keeping things going. The people that actually do the work, what ticks me off is you've got these CEOs of these NGOs getting paid 60, 70, 80, 90 million dollars a year. And then you got workers that can't get $25 an hour for doing the work that has to be done, that actually has to be done. That CEO or that NGO, whoever it is, that president of the company could disappear tomorrow and nobody would realize that they were gone. 9 times out of 10. Their work is not crucial to keeping systems going, to keeping jobs going, to keeping things functioning most of the time. I get how things work, and I understand why the things are the way they are. Doesn't mean that I have to agree with it. And I think that that's a huge problem with the way that we have our system set up here. I'm not here to critique and criticize and throw out everything in the book, but I've always thought that hard labor, manual labor workers have been extremely undervalued and underpaid. Because I was one of them for a long, long time. And I don't understand how people, your everyday people, that haven't worked in the types of industries that I have, even if I hadn't, I still understand how important that is. But a lot of people don't, and I want to say like half the people. I'd say roughly close to like 50% of people are like, brush it off like it's nothing. And truckers, which what got this conversation started, is an extremely undervalued, underpaid, and underappreciated job to have in America right now. Forever, up to this point. See, that's the type of stuff I think that we should focus on trying to change. I think truckers should be able to live a good life. I don't think they should have to work. And see, that's another thing. Like, a lot of guys, like, to get around the log laws, they'll take somebody else on the truck and they'll split hours or split drive times so that truck can be running all the time almost. And that's no way to live, man. I mean, yeah, I know that it's about trying to get that money, but you shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that. You should get paid well enough to drive 8 or 10 hours a day and be able to take a few months off a year doing that kind of job. That same thing goes with extremely hard manual labor type jobs that keep the lights on, and coal miners. Like, come on. Those guys are literally killing themselves so that your lights can be on. It doesn't get much worse than that. Truckers are doing the same thing, just in a different way. You know? I mean, I guess that they depends. There's a lot of variables. There's a lot of variables to everyone. But that's just my thoughts on it. I don't know how many people agree or disagree with me. I mean, I've never had this discussion openly, I guess. Never really thought about having an open discussion about what I think. Wanted to be a railroad engineer as a kid. Go into automotive repair. That's a bold decision. These are a good cigarette, man. Super smooth. A little bit on the light side because I'd call it like a heavy medium when it comes to flavor wise, but really clean and really smooth, really fresh tasting. That's a good cigarette. But it was so small, I feel like I want another one. I went into automotive repair, man. Again, that's a bold choice at 14. Glad my high school hadn't cut vocational training so I could learn how to do it. So I would have been 14 or 15 when I went into vocational for welding. And I started taking welding classes. I guess I would have been like 14. Anyway, took welding all day, as much as they'd allow me to take, for 2 years. Ended up finishing up getting my certifications in MIG, TIG, and stick. Had big plans. I was good. I was really good at what I'd done. I had plans on doing something with it, and then it was so hard back then, and this would have been late 90s, to get into the Boilermakers. Like, you had to have a family member in there or know somebody pretty well to get you in there. Well, I didn't know anybody that could get me in, so I didn't get in, and I went and done electrical work. That's what I started off doing. And years later, like probably like 04, I think is the first time I worked as a Boilermaker, and I got to start actually using some of my welding skills, and I enjoyed the work that I done. Oh, I burnt my finger. I enjoyed the work that I done. Of course, that's all. When you do that type of work and you're in the union, it's temporary, almost always, unless you're really sucked in there, or like, guess one guy that I know that used to ride to work with me. I liked him. Good guy. A lot of things change over the years, but his dad was a business agent. So like he got to stay on whatever job he wanted to stay on, and he was at one job I know for 8 years. Nobody else could dream of doing something like that. If you got to stay on a job 6 months or more, like you were really doing something. Like you really had something. But and working much more than 6 or 8 months out of the year, you definitely call yourself lucky. So you always had to work the unemployment aspect when you worked union, and it's stressful not knowing if you're going to have work, when you're going to go to work next, where's the next job going to be? Because typically you end up traveling and staying in hotels, and I got sick of doing that, and I ended up getting a job at a plant. Got a plant job at the aluminum plant, and that aluminum plant was something else to work at. You talk about, it was like working standing right at the gates of hell. So hot. And I worked steel mills too. The aluminum plant, it's a different kind of hot than the steel mill. The steel mill was like a steady high heat, but the aluminum plant was a much higher, more intense, like violent heat. I don't know how to describe it other than it was something else. We had 2 contracts that had just gone through in 2007. One with Boeing and one with NASA. We had 2 very large contracts. The contract with Boeing, I think it was the one with Boeing, was like $38 billion or something. It was 30 billion. It was a lot of money, And then we had the NASA contract was hundreds of millions. I remember it being crazy numbers. Don't quote me on those numbers, but it was like they were huge numbers. And especially back then, like even by today's standards, that's a lot of money. Because that plant that I worked at had a stretcher in it, and there was supposedly the story that I was told, the way this thing worked, if you could see it, the way it took hot metal and stretched it out and made sheets out of it. There was only 2 of those machines like that one in the world. And one of them was laying at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. It was being shipped somewhere, and the boat sank, and that stretcher went down with the boat. And that apparently was sitting on the bottom of the ocean. And that was the only one that was up and running and functional. So it closed the doors in 2008, and then there were rumors and stories of it reopening all the way up until I'd say like 2010-ish. And then it became pretty clear that the doors were closed. But there's 2 sides to that plant. It's kind of a weird, long story. I'm not going to get into it. But there's another side of that plant that is open still to this day. But that aluminum plant that I worked at up there, we always call it Ravenswood Aluminum. When I worked up there, it was called Passionate, I think, was the company. Can't remember. Anyway, I believe it was around 2018-ish, 19. Heck, it might even been during the pandemic. Might have been up in 2020, 2021. Well, anyways, they sold that plant to China. They came over here, disassembled it. It's right next to the river, the Ohio River. Took all the disassembled pieces down to barges, loaded it up on the barges, shipped it down to the Gulf of Mexico, and the rest of the way to China. So that's where all that equipment, there was 84 or 87 pots per half line. There was 4 lines, so 87 times 2, 160, 174 pots per line times 4, so a lot, like 700 and some pots. That place is capable of producing a crap ton of aluminum. A lot. It takes a lot of electricity, and I do mean a lot. When that place shut down, like the electricity was coming from here. literally right up the road, because it didn't need to be stepped down as much because they could use that super high voltage. They needed that super high voltage stuff. But like the power plant that's right here, we don't see no electricity from that place. Like that, the power has to go so far where it's broke down enough for people to use. And I want to say it's like Illinois or Indiana or somewhere that power from this power plant goes. A lot of the plants that are around here, I mean, they go way off somewhere else. But yeah, yesterday was my son's birthday. 24. Makes me feel old. Makes me think I'm old. Am I old? I am old, I guess. 42. Am I 42? No. Yeah, I'm 42. Yeah, he's 24. Just turned 24 yesterday. It's crazy. Time goes by. Life goes by. And you don't realize until it's way further away and it's too late that you wasted some of that time. Yeah, you're right. There's a bunch of us that have birthdays this month. That's correct. CT's is this month. His is just a couple days different than mine, if I remember right. I think Steve's was a couple months ago. I think his is in April. I don't know. It's on my phone somewhere. Who else is this month? Yeah, the older you get, it does seem like the faster time goes by. And it also becomes increasingly difficult to knock out as many tasks in a day as you used to. Like, it used to be I could do what now would be a week's worth of work in a day, you know? Which, I mean, my injury has definitely held me back, slowed me down. Certain things I just absolutely cannot do. And that sucks. You know, I feel like I should be able to do something. Then I go to do it, and I'm like, I can't do this. I have to literally think in my head, like, you know you can't do this, right? Like, even though my body seems to want, seems like it can do it. Then I try it, and it's like, nope, you ain't doing this right now. Whatever it may be. Yeah, weeks go by like days used to, is what it seems. It used to be. Well, we can all think back to when we were in school, and we'd sit there watching the clock go by. And this is a real phenomenon. This is a real thing, that the older you get, the faster time goes by for you. And there's some scientific explanation behind it, and it's proven that it's a perception thing. Technically, we perceive time differently, and our time is flying by. You know, it's here and it's gone. It's here and it's gone. It's here and it's gone. Back then, it's like, oh, when is this day gonna end? Like, when is the clock gonna hit 3:15 or whatever time you get out of school? And sit there and watch the freaking seconds tick by, and it seemed like they were taking forever. And that's just the way our brains were, like, so much faster and processing things so much differently, that, yeah, time really was slower for us back then. As a kid, used to take some wild. Same here. Used to take some wild bumps to the head, I assume. Wrestling, trampoline, with your friends. If I took some of those same bumps now that I'm 31, I'd have to call out of work. Yeah, I was talking about this with my mom the other day. My mom came up and was at the cafe trying to get the baby shower put together for my sister. She's in her 30s, getting ready to have her first kid. Anyway, I was like thinking back about memorable injuries that I had, things that I'd done when I was a kid. I can remember the first time that I ever like really hurt myself to the point to where I thought I was going to die. And I was at my Aunt Bonnie's. My Aunt Bonnie's got cancer right now. She's got brain cancer, and she's not doing well. She's had all kinds of other cancers, and she's went through all kinds of chemos and all kinds of crazy treatments. And Mom says she's not. My mom's taking her to hospital or doctor's appointments like every other day, and it's not good for my mom either. I don't think. But anyway, first time I ever got hurt. I was a big BMX rider when I was a kid, man. I could have been a professional. No question about it. I was good. I was real good. That's all I did. I had a passion for it. I loved it. I loved it so much. I'd get up the first thing, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'd go out, I'd get on my bike, and I would not stop until the sun came down. I mean, my legs, I had to be in such good shape back then. My God, I had to be in good shape. Anyway, I was at her house, and she had like this water meter out at the end of her road, and I couldn't have been no more than 3, 4, 5 years old. No more than 5. I don't think I was even 5. I think I was probably 3 or 4. I don't know how well, I do know why I remember this. Anyway, I tried to ramp over that water meter that was sticking up out of the ground, probably about, I don't know, no more than a foot. But my wheels on my bike at that age they were probably 12-inch tires or something. Anyway, I hit that, and I didn't go over it, and it flopped me over, and the handlebar spun because of the way I hit it, and turned this way and hit me right dead in the chest and I fell down on it, and it knocked the wind out of me, and I was probably over 100 yards away from the house. So, and I was out there by myself, just, that's the way it was when I was growing up in the 80s. You didn't watch kids, you just turned them loose. Latchkey kids or whatever they call it. Anyway, I couldn't make a noise, I couldn't take a breath, and I was freaking out. I thought I was dying. It knocked the wind out of me, and it was the first time I'd ever had that happen to me. And man, I was freaking out. I literally thought I was going to die right there. I'll never forget that. And that was probably the first injury like that I remember having. Although I don't know how old I was when I wrecked the car. I don't know if I was like 3. I don't know if I was 4. But we were all outside. Dad was cleaning his Nova. He had like a Nova. I think he drag raced it or something. I don't know. I don't think it was like it was probably a street strip car. He probably did drive it. Anyway, he was out there doing his typical washing, waxing, armor all that. Mom had like a late 70s, early 80s Ford LTD. The square type. Like if you were to draw a car, like the way I would draw a car probably, like the square, like that's what the Ford LTD looked like. It even had rectangle tail lights. Like that was that car. Well, I got in that car, turned the key and started it, and it was column shift, dropped it into gear, and which I was just standing up in the seat, like, hands on the wheel probably. I don't remember that part. But I drove it into a ditch, and it cut my ear off, and my ear was like hanging. So that was the first time I say I probably got really hurt like that, but I don't remember that much. I remember wrecking the car and it being a huge deal, but I don't remember like doing it. I don't remember a lot of the stuff that was leading up to it, and a whole lot that happened after. Let's see. I also remember a big injury that I had in 6th grade, because I had this injury during my 6th grade graduation. I was racing my neighbor My neighbor. Let's see. How old would you be in 6th grade? Um, or it might have been 3rd grade. No, it had to be 6th grade, I think. No, that wouldn't make it. That wouldn't be right. Maybe it was 3rd grade. I would have been like, let's see, 5 in kindergarten, 6, 7, 8. I've been like 8, maybe between 8 and 10, 12 years old, something like that. I can't remember if I'd have to go back. It's in the pictures of my mom's got somewhere. I'll have to figure out if I was in 3rd or 6th grade. I cannot remember. But anyways, I was racing them down this hill, and my neighbor was an older guy. Like he was probably at that time probably in his 40s, and they had kids that were my age back then, and I played like they were our next door neighbors. Anyway, I was racing them down this hill. He had a Ford F-150 truck. He always had a Ford F-150 truck. Different, he'd go through different ones. We were going down the hill, and he said I passed him going 40 miles an hour, and I was on a bicycle. We come down to the bottom of that hill, and there was an elevated basketball court, and I hit that elevated basketball court, and my bike stayed still. I'm sure it totaled my bike, and I flipped over the handlebars and split my chin from here to here, and it ripped because I landed on my chin, and it ripped my chin off, off the. It was hanging there like this, and they had to sew it back on. So I had a big chin strap bandage during 3rd or 6th grade. I always thought it was 6th. Maybe it was 3rd though. Anyway, that was another injury I remember having as a kid. But yeah, stuff like that now. That injury would take me. I bet it'd take me 3 months to properly heal from that. Maybe a month. I don't know. Depends, I guess. Face injury like that, it'd probably heal a little quicker. Maybe a month and a half to where it'd be about as good as it was going to get. And I still got a big scar under my chin, right there. When I used to have shorter beards, shorter facial hair, you could see where the hair wouldn't grow on that scar tissue. I don't know if it finally grew in there or not. But, yeah. The only time you had the wind knocked out of you, attempted to do a kickflip on a skateboard. Dude, having the wind knocked out of you is no joke, man. Especially if you don't, like I was, I didn't know what was going on. Didn't know that, I guess eventually, I don't even know how that works. Eventually I was going to catch my breath. I thought I was a goner. I thought for sure I was going to keel over right there. Oh, Margarita Risley said 11 or 12. Yeah, I think I was a year younger. I graduated when I was 17, so I was always a year younger just about than everybody else. I got into school. Mom must have got me into school early or something. Tim, you fell out of a tree and landed flat on your back, knocked the wind out of you. Remember it like it was yesterday. There's something about that, man. It's just it's a traumatic experience, and having the literal wind knocked out of you. I know that's what we call it, but I wonder what the technical, what really happens when that. I mean, because does it knock the wind out? I don't know. I really don't know what happens when you get the wind knocked out of you. What really is going on there? Is there some dilation of the diaphragm where it closes off, but you can't breathe out, you can't breathe in, you can't make a noise. You're just, and that's it. You can't do nothing. It's kind of crazy. Oh, your dad dropped you and broke your tailbone? Well, that sucks. I mean, I'm sure he didn't mean to do it. I would hope. But it sounds like that would really suck. It would give you a complex and a bad association with Dad for sure. It's like I don't even find it funny when people fall off ladders. Yeah, I hear you, man. Like Fordman, I don't. When I see somebody get hurt in one of these videos, and I see people like in the comment section, like, "Oh, that's funny," I'm like, man, that guy's going to be in recovery now for the next year if he's lucky. That's like I watched this guy. He was installing a mini split the other day. I can't remember where I seen this at or whatever. But he was up on a ladder on the side of a house or apartment complex or something, and he was putting the outside unit part of a mini split in. And I watched him grab that wiring. Why he grabbed that wiring the way he did, it was bare wire that had been stripped back coming out of the house. That apparently, for some reason, was hot. Why it was hot, I don't know. Sometimes people are just idiots. Anyway, which I've worked with hot electricity, don't get me wrong, but I knew it was hot and I handled it as hot electricity. There's a whole way that you got to do it. And you can still screw up that way even. I watched a guy get blown off a 12-foot ladder my first day of work as an electrician. But I watched that guy grab that, and he was going. And he was like making noises. And dude just stand there filming him like it was a joke. Like he thought it was a joke or something. This dude was really getting electrocuted bad. He was getting electrocuted bad. And it looks like when he obviously was trying to let go of it the whole time and couldn't let go of it. When he finally did let go of it, I don't know if that'd have been 220 or not running to a mini split like that. It could have been. Anyway, when he finally let go of it, the camera dude goes over there and his fingertips are burnt from here up. And it looked like it came out his other hand because his other hand that didn't have a hole, or maybe he did. Maybe he grabbed it like that. I can't remember the video because both his hands were burnt, and he was out. He wasn't awake. That's what happened to that guy. I was working with 277 hot in a Stearns in New York City. That's what we were doing because they wouldn't shut off the power in these sections because they didn't want to lose business or something. I don't really understand. They should have brought in temporary lighting or something. Anyway, they should have shut it off section by section. We were in there changing out the PCB ballast. And I wasn't there maybe 45 minutes. We were kind of walking around getting lined out on what we were doing and showing us where we were going to be working. And this one guy that was up there on top of that ladder, he obviously grabbed those hot wires, but he didn't hang on to them. Like this was a, and it came out of his foot, blew him probably 10 foot backwards off that 12-foot ladder, and he landed on the ground stiff as a board. He never flinched when he hit the ground. He was already out. He was asleep or whatever. I'm sure hitting the ground from that far up, that probably hurt him. But his body was completely relaxed. Like there was wasn't relaxed. It was electrocuted, relaxed. And they come in with an ambulance, put him on a stretcher, took him out of there. He never woke up the whole time. And I never seen that guy again. Never did ask about it. I didn't know the guy. Like, it was a union job. So, I don't know. It was a pretty weird thing to see the first thing. And I had never taken an electrical class, nothing. The guys that I worked with taught me what to do, what not to do on the way driving to the job in New York from here. And we knew we were going to work with hot electricity too. It was never touched the end of a bare wire, never touched both wires at the same time. And then once we got there, and they had these big drop-down metal grates, we had to stick each wire on its own, split them out, and stick one through the grating, and then stick the other one through the grating over here after we wire nutted them off individually. It was a dangerous job, for sure. Getting electrocuted, man, I had a buddy get electrocuted, and he was never right again. He messed with his sinuses really bad, changed his throat and his voice, and he had a twitch after that. Like he done all kinds of weird stuff after that. See people getting taken out by cops, taken to the ground. I'm telling you, dude, like, I can't, or I should say, things like ropes, videos of ropes, and especially if I see one in person, like a rope under tension, freaks me out. If I see somebody break a bone on a video, I'm like, oh my, ugh. Ever since I had that accident up there, like it changed me, man. It definitely changed me. It's not something that you can just brush off like it didn't happen. And guys in MMA that, like Conor McGregor, the way he broke his leg, like I know he's done pretty well with it and stuff, but he'll never be the same again. Like anybody, was it Anderson Silva that broke his leg kicking somebody? I think it was. I think it might have ended his career. That dude was a monster too. I'm pretty sure it was him. Used to love watching that guy fight. I've been watching MMA since like 90, 91 maybe. I remember watching it with my next door neighbors before it was like it is now. Like, we watched back when there were no rules. Used to watch Horace Gracie, and we were watching all that stuff back then. We'd get the VHS tapes and then probably DVDs at that time. We have DVDs at that time. I don't know. Definitely VHS tapes. We'd get the pay-per-views and stuff. Zoe Stark. I did not. No, I don't keep up with pro wrestling. My son likes it. Ethan likes it. Ethan's basically practically moved out of the house. Oh, that's marshmallow stuff in the inside. Duh. It's like, what happened? Get a bone snapped, turned around the wrong way. My leg flipped around all the way. 360 degrees. Spun it. Which a rope hit me at like 350, 400 mile an hour. Just walked through my leg like it wasn't even there. Hit it hard enough it spun it around. And then hit me in the other leg. But the angle just glanced off the front of my other leg. It should have. If the angle would have been a little different, it would have taken both my legs out. I'm lucky. Had it have been higher, it'd have cut me in two. If it hit me in the gut or something, it'd been over. Wouldn't have survived. I laid out there for 4 hours after it happened. No pain meds. No nothing. No nothing. They cut my clothes off of me. I was laying there butt naked. I mean, nothing on. No boots, no socks, no nothing. Oh, you had to have bone marrow transplants? Yeah, any injury, Tim. Fallen, but any injury, I have to imagine would be terrifying. And I know I've heard that's extremely painful. That sucks. That ravioli was just trash. Blue 1 Lake, yellow 6, red 40, yellow 5, blue 1, yellow 6 Lake, red 40 Lake, yellow 5 Lake, blue 2 Lake, and blue 2. It's all your chemical based, likely petroleum based, food colorings, food grade, and these M&Ms, which I think are going to be outlawed soon. I think they might have already made Skittles and M&M's change. And also, I seen like somebody carrying out cartfuls of Flamin' Hot Cheeto stuff, different Cheeto stuff. Flamin' Hot anything. With all that red, probably red 40 Lake. Yeah, my immune system wasn't good either. That's why I got COVID before I came home from New York. I didn't have no immune system, but it was compromised, they call it. Yeah, they're in everything. What we all need to do is go back. They've tried to eliminate farmers and farms. If we went back to people just having farms all over the place, I need to do it myself. Grow my own food. We would all extend our lives considerably. Me and Mom was talking about that the other day too. My great-great-grandpa and my great-grandpa, and how everybody in the family, which my mom grew up that way, my Aunt Bonnie grew up that way, my grandma grew up that way, because they grew up on that farm. That was their home. But they had to work, period. There was no choice to not go gather water, to go feed the animals, to go dig crops, to go whatever. Mom was telling me some of the jobs she had. I can't remember now. Anyway, like that type of stuff, and they planted a huge garden that fed the entire family. And my great-great-grandpa, actually probably even his dad, they ate the food that they grew out there. The green beans, the potatoes, the animals. They grew their own tobacco. So my great-great-grandpa was the one that drank whiskey every night. He lived to be, me and Mom just talked about it, he was 100, 102, something like that. And then his son, my great-grandpa, lived to be 90, what did she say, 97? Something like that. He smoked his own tobacco. No, he chewed tobacco. No, he smoked. One smoked and one chewed. And then my great-great-grandpa drank whiskey every single night. Every single night he'd have a few shots. But he wasn't a drunk. Like, he didn't drink all the time. Just in the evening, he'd have a few shots. They killed your immune system completely for the transplant. Just so your body take it, is that why they do that? Because if not, your body would fight it. Your immune system. Full-time homesteader. Well, it's more than just being a homesteader. It's being a farmer. Being able to provide food not only yourself, but at least a group of other people. Which they got a couple 1,000-acre farm down there in the middle of friggin' nowhere, but it's not a farm anymore. There's a house there. I believe my uncle lives there. Not my uncle. Would he be my uncle? My uncle's kid. Or he is my great uncle? My great uncle's kid? I don't know. Would that be my cousin? What is that? What relative would that be? If he was technically my great uncle. He was my grandma's brother's son that took it over. Would he be my uncle? I don't know. I always called him Uncle. Uncle Lee, Uncle Mike, Uncle Kenny. Anyway, I don't know. Called them uncles. Great granddad on your dad's side, chain smoker, rolled his own. Yeah, they rolled their own tobacco, but they did buy store-bought Lucky Strike, Half and Half, and Prince Albert. Had the tins all over the 3-season porch that was on the house. Built their own house out there, obviously, back in probably 1800s. Anyway, I remember as a kid, like the last time I was out there, I was probably when that house was still standing, which when they tore it down, they only tore it down because they had built a new house. They left it standing for a little while, but I remember the ceilings in there only being like maybe 6 foot. Like they were low ceilings in there. Be my second cousin. Okay. Well, I always called him Uncle. All of them. I always called all them guys Uncle. I don't know why. That's what my family told me to call him. I guess that's what my grandma and my mom told me to call him. Same man used to work all day at the plant and go straight to the woods to squirrel hunt. So everyone could eat supper. Wait, what did I miss on this up here? Anyway, your grandpa tells me his fingers were stained yellow from the back. What was that? Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I never paid any attention to my great grandpa's fingers that rolled his own and they grew their own tobacco. But I imagine his were probably yellow too. Yeah, those guys, they'd work from the time they got up to sundown. And then they'd come in and probably had eaten already and go to bed. My great-grandpa always had raccoons as pets when I was a kid. Mom told me what its name was just the other day. I can't remember. But I remember that raccoon when I was a little kid. I used to walk by the cage. I used to think it was the most fascinating thing. But man, did it hate everybody except him. He was the only one that could get near that raccoon. He'd walk right up in the cage. He'd take a chair with him, or there was a chair in there if he'd pull it over into the middle. And he'd sit down, and that thing would get up there, and it'd crawl all around on his shoulders, and it would rub up on him. And it loved him, but it could not stand anybody else walk by it, and it would just be just like growling at everybody that walked by, like trying to chew its way through the cage and stuff. It was a mean raccoon. I guess he had one before that. Mom said it kind of became a thing for him to have a raccoon. And he had one before that he found as a little tiny baby. That's what started it all. and he raised it from just a wee little baby on up. And that raccoon, everybody liked that raccoon, and it was like a cat kind of. But the second raccoon he found when it was bigger, probably about the size the babies are that I got out here now. It's either, I know there's a group of 5, and there's also another group that might be of 4. I think it's another group. I'm not 100% sure I've got 2 groups, but I think I do. It's really hard to tell with them little raccoons. I just seen Smitty pop up in the chat. Schmitty, what's up, Schmitty? Been a long time. Been a long time. I don't like the road no more. I want to go home. I want to go home. Wait, I've had a chance to swing in. Hope you're all doing well. It's good to see you, Smitty. Hey, didn't you and Trucker come down in a Dodge truck? Was that your truck or was that his truck? Was it even a Dodge truck? Or a Ram, not a Dodge. They did away with the whole Dodge Ram thing. What, like, geez, it's been a long time ago. Because it's been at least 2013 or down. I don't know. Because I know they changed them around 2012, I think. 2012, 2013, 2011. I can't believe it's been that long ago that they dropped the Dodge off the Dodge Ram, though. Oh, it was CT's dad's? Oh. Huh. Well, that's what I ended up buying this week. I bought a Ram. It's still a Dodge. I don't care. It's a Dodge Ram. Like, let's be real about it. 6 years ago this summer. Wow. Man, a lot's happened in the last 6 years. Whew. Whoa, Jesse Michaels here too. Look at that. We're just having a reunion right here. From 6 years ago. How crazy is that? That's funny. Yeah, I would take you out there and show you. Just scroll back to the beginning of this. Apparently, the sound wasn't working on my camera at the beginning of this live stream. I plugged in a microphone, it started working, and I was like, well, let me just unplug it and see if it'll work if I unplug it. And it was working, so it's weird. We'd never had that happen before. Yeah, it's like a little group get-together. I'll tell you what, as soon as I get this building up here done, I don't know how many people show up, but I will throw a get-together together here. Closest hotels and stuff are, well, there's a guy redoing the one down in Point Pleasant, which is it should be pretty cool, pretty massive, but it's old. What's the name of that hotel? I can't remember the name of the hotel. Anyway, doesn't matter. About 30 minutes down the road, but anybody could stay in the building that wanted to stay in the building. Like, y'all, more than happy or glad to. I'll be more than glad for y'all to stay there. Whoever comes in, I don't care how many people come in. We'll do it, and there will be an apartment upstairs that could house probably. I don't know. We could put cots and stuff up there. We could probably house, I don't know, comfortably maybe 1,000 square feet, maybe like 10 people probably. And then downstairs probably 7 to 10 probably. It's the same square footage, just it's going to depend on how I lay out the downstairs. Anyway, we could probably do that by, I hope to have it done by, I'm definitely going to have it done by the holidays. I want to be able to have like my Thanksgiving dinner and stuff up there. I think it's going to be nice. I'm not going to live in it or anything, but I think I can get it fixed up fairly affordably. And the bones to that place are really good, so I'm looking for a trailer and scaffolding right now. I found a couple places with scaffolding I sent messages to earlier, but I got to have scaffolding to fix some stuff and paint. I want to paint the building black. Black with a garage door on the front. I've already got a copper roof on it, and then upstairs I'm going to do the bathroom and the kitchen. The kitchen will be black and white, and the bathroom will be like slate tile with gold accents, or maybe brass. I don't know if I'll go gaudy gold, but brass. I think it's gonna look good. Yep, Point Pleasant is the Mothman. Yep, that's where I live, basically. I mean, from here to Point, it's like from my driveway to the edge of Point Pleasant, which is not where the first Mothman sighting or the Mothman thing was at. The actual first Mothman sighting was about maybe 15 minutes from right here, and then to get to the edge of Point Pleasant might take you like 22 to 25 minutes from my driveway right here. So yeah, Mothman. that's how I try to tell everybody where I live, just because a lot of people know about it, so it's easy to just associate that. But my area is way more interesting than that, what I consider to be fake. I don't think there's much to the whole Mothman thing. I think there's a whole lot more to this area, just based on the Native American accounts, what has been written down that they gathered from the history from the Native Americans. But the most interesting thing to me that the Native Americans said about this area, because they refused to live here. Native Americans will not use this land in this area from here to Point Pleasant. And this is where two rivers meet. This is what I try to explain to people. Most people don't understand this, but especially back then, this is some of the most fertile ground, period, because of the weather, because of the two rivers that meet, two big rivers. The Ohio River, the Canal River is a pretty good-sized river. I mean, we carried 9 barges up and down that river. There's locks and dams up and down through there. But anyway, they refused to use this land. Now, they would cross it in the daytime. They would, run cattle through it to a different area, but they wouldn't set up teepees here. They wouldn't set up any type of camps here, because according to the Native Americans, now, again, this is directly being quoted out of what the Native American accounts and history, what history was for this area. They said that this is where the dead walks at night and where the sky people come to visit. That's the Native Americans' account of this area. So, well, Jesse, so Chief Cornstalk, during the Revolutionary War, the first shots fired of the Revolutionary War also happened in Point Pleasant. Look it up. It's quite interesting. Anyway, Chief Cornstalk was kind of like a middleman between the Native Americans and the U.S. soldiers at that time. And he was like the good guy, He was like trying to keep the peace and make everything good. Well, anyway, they ended up, there was like some misunderstandings and some murders that happened with these misunderstandings, and they ended up taking him captive, and then they ended up killing his son right in front of him, shooting him like 7 or 17 times or 9, a whole bunch of times right in front of him, and shot him. And as he was dying, he said he was placing a curse on this area, and nobody would ever prosper, nothing would ever thrive here. And he put I think he might have put 100 years on it, or 125 years, 150. I can't remember what it was, but supposedly that time had ran out now. But if you believe that type of thing, this place has never done much. Never done much good. Saw a video earlier that mentioned the Appalachians have some kind of electromagnetic field that messes with your head, makes you see things. Explained a lot of the weirdness there. Well, yeah, the moon-eyed people, you know, and all that stuff. I honestly think that there's a whole lot more to it than seeing things in electromagnetic fields. I have filmed things myself, things that I've seen here. Now, of course, we live in a different time where there's stuff flying around all the time. And I have filmed enough UFO activity to know that there's something. There's something going on. Number one. Number two, 2 or 3 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, it was right after Stella passed. 2 days after Stella passed. Stella passed away on Tuesday morning, and this was Thursday night. I was over at my neighbor's, and this is the first time I had ever brought it up to them, and I was telling her, the neighbor, about, I was like, if you're ever outside at late at night, I was like, look over this way, pointed to where I see them all the time. It's like, watch over this way, and you will likely see UFOs over here. As we're talking about it, we started seeing them everywhere. We saw probably 50 of them going every which direction above our heads. Within 10 to 15 minutes of the discussion first starting, we watched, she saw it first. She saw this cloud that she said looked like it had like a swirling effect on the outside edge of it. I never saw it. I couldn't see what she was seeing. From that exact spot that she said she saw before we ever saw anything else, we watched anywhere between 150 and 250 metallic balls fly out of this cloud with a that had like this disturbance on the edge. She would tell you the same thing. It went on for about, I would say, 7 to 10 minutes, roughly. I didn't time it, but I did film it 3 separate times, and in between the second and third time, I had time to call Amber and tell Amber that this was happening, and she moseyed out nice and slow like from over here and walked over there to where I was at and got to see it. She caught the tail end of what we saw. Now, I have 3 different times that I filmed it, but I could not see it on my screen as I was filming it. And I'm sure it's there. If somebody could brighten up the footage that I have, I don't know what we saw that night. And it surely wasn't satellites or SpaceX, because those are small groupings. The only ones I've ever seen, the only thing I know of, which not only that, like you didn't see them lead up to that cloud. You saw them come out of that cloud. It was weird. Again, she said she could see a disturbance, like a swirling thing. I couldn't see what she could see, but that I knew I could see that was exactly where they were coming out of, is where she was saying that was, but I couldn't see what she saw. I don't know if my eyes are going bad or what, because I used to have better than 20/20 vision. I think these screens have ruined them. But I have not been able to stop thinking about what I saw since it happened. It's the most massive sighting I've ever had. I think before then, I mean, the most I had ever seen at one time was 4. And I watched one with my son. Thank God he saw this when I saw it, because if not, I don't even, people still don't believe me what I saw. But I watched one fly in from outer space. I'm standing on my back porch. If I point like this, it was up here. It came in from up here, flew down through the sky, and joined in with 3 other ones that we were watching at that exact time. And as it flew down through the sky very quickly, it just like put the brakes on. Like it came in real fast, and then it stopped, and then joined into the rotation with the other 3 that we were already watching. And it lit up really bright as it slowed down and stopped. That was a confirmation to me that what I was watching wasn't just like, well, somebody's over there flying drones around or something. Now, this is something else. Because I've heard that 100 times. But I'm not going to go into depth of the other things and the other reasons and everything else, because I know there's something to what I'm seeing. I don't know what it is, but there's something to it. And it's consistent. My God, is it consistent. The sky is cloudy and fogged out, and a lot, especially this time of year. You know, all the way up through April, May, and it's if it's clear outside, you can usually see them. But I get this weird feeling like, hey, I don't know if it's not an audible thing, but it's like probably should go outside and look. And I don't know. It's like a feeling I should go look. I go out there and watch, and I see them. I don't know what that is. I feel weird even talking about it. You saw an Instagram video what I described? That's cool. I'd like to see that video and see if it actually matches up to what I saw. The other night I saw what I would consider to be an odd one, but it was bright green, and it was really bright, and it was fast. It was fast. And it wasn't just like a shooting star or something, I don't know, what a meteorite, something like that. But it was, it changed directions, but not like a 90-degree change of direction. But it did change directions and went up. And I was out front this time, which is odd for me. Anyways, I watched it from over at this area of the sky, and I saw it light up, and I was like, what the heck? And it come across the sky, and then it kind of did like a 20 or 30-degree turn upwards, and I watched it it looked like it flew out of sight. Distance-wise, it didn't look like it went out, the light went out. It looked like it went so far that I couldn't see it anymore. And it was a weird one. Like I said, that was a different one. Saw UFO when you were kids. We didn't talk about it until we became Irish. A lot of people, I have come to find out, that when they see something like that, even if they see it with someone else, they won't really acknowledge what just happened, or they'll acknowledge real quick what just happened, and that's it. They won't discuss it anymore. You could be the one wanting to talk about it and ask them, and they'll just kind of ignore you. I don't know what kind of trigger or response that is out of some people, but I think it's probably more than half the people that have had experiences like this, have seen things. They just decide, nope, it didn't happen. I'm not going to talk about it, or whatever. You're not alone. I know quite a few people that have had experiences like that. I know somebody is a pretty good friend of mine who had quite the sighting with multiple other people, and none of the other people would talk about it at all. Still to this day, they will not. They've tried to bring it up with them multiple times, and they just act like it did not happen. So, I don't have explanations for any of this. Are we alone? Are we not alone? There's something to it. I think ultimately, like, if we could be created or whatever, like there's a creator, then the creator could create way more than just us. There could be infinite things, and that's just one that we're seeing. I don't know. I don't have an explanation for it. I don't. Tell you what, though, I would like for one of them things, whatever it is, to come into my field over here and visit, or pick me up and take me for a ride. I want to see what y'all got going on. And then I also think that there is what I have saw before, or what I've seen before. There is some sort of intelligent, and I do believe in the ether. I think the ether is all around us. I think it's an intelligent energy that we interact with way more than what we will ever know. Like, I don't think it's because it's not being explored. It's being treated as though it's not real. But I think there are these energies, plasmas, whatever energy, that are somewhat intelligent, or maybe super intelligent. I don't know, that I have seen before. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot to talk about. It's a lot to go over, and it's not a topic that most people want to talk about or discuss. So, again, I think it's weird that we don't want to talk this out, and we don't want to figure out what this is. But at the same time, I kind of understand, because there's a huge stigma behind it. and our government's fully aware. I don't care what anybody says; they are fully aware. Let me tell you what something that bothers me about something that's happened recently, because up until the election happened, our current POTUS was like, "Oh yeah, we want to find out what that is, what's going on," because we had that all the drones, and everybody's calling them drones. Maybe there is a lot of that going on, but I don't think all that was drones. Anyway, like, oh yeah, we want to figure out what that is, and gets in there and has his little secretary come out and say, "Oh yeah, that was just commercial drones, a bunch of commercial drones and military drones and BS." That's what I'm gonna call on that. Bull crap. Bull crap. You're playing the same game that they all play. Cover it up. Act like it ain't happening. Something's going on, and it's not just commercial drones in our. If it is drones and it's from other countries, I think we all should be a little more worried than what we are, personally. Because I just seen how they did it in how the Ukraine did it. Had them shipped in. Had these swarms of drones or whatever shipped in on these. They were like Connexes, more or less, with retractable roofs on them. They were hit a button and all these things flew up out of the top of them. And they went in and took out their bombers and took out tanks and all kinds of stuff. So if they could do that there, I'd be willing to bet that something like that could happen here. Customs more worried about 2 packs of smokes that Dan sent me in a freaking package than they are real threats. And they'll let, don't even get me started on the drugs that our government's brought into our country. Ruined and killed more people than anyone else, period. Drug lords, you name it. Yes, sir. The CIA, the FBI, the United States government has brought more drugs, cocaine, fentanyl, pain medication, whatever, into this country. Opium, than any kingpin. They are the kingpin. To be honest. I mean, yeah, it's verifiable, dude. I mean, anybody who cares to look into the actual history to this day, it'll never stop until we, as a country, as a people, put our foot down and stop it. Make them stop. Too much money, too much power, and control that comes along with it. And also, I think they look at it as being able to weed out and get rid of the less desirables, the people that are susceptible to that type of, I guess, temptation. But, I mean, look in the White House. They just had the whole cocaine in the White House thing. Let's be honest, man. Like, that whole family that was in there at that point, it could have been any of them. It could have been Hunter. It could have been Joe's. It could have been any of them. Let's be real. Weed is still classified, if I'm not mistaken, on the same level as cocaine. Am I wrong, felony-wise? I think it's still a Schedule... Is it a Schedule 4? And Schedule 4 is the worst, right? I could be mistaken. I don't think they've changed that. How insane is that? Like, that is the dumbest... number one, why was it ever classified like that? Oh, it's a Schedule 1. Okay, so I had it backwards. I thought it was 4 was the worst. 1 was, like, the lower stuff. Anyway. How did it ever get like that in the first place? Like, whose genius idea was it to classify marijuana the same as they classify cocaine? Oh, yeah, okay. I was on the right path. I wasn't sure on the Schedule 1, Schedule 4, whatever. Again, though, our government's to blame. Our government's to blame. They're the ones that have brought in the majority of the bulk. Like the stuff that you know, there's small time guys. When I say small time, to us it would be insanely huge, but compared to what the government does, the CIA does, it's small potatoes, very small potatoes. It's just a ticket if you get caught with weed. Okay, so yeah, that varies from state to state, but like here in West Virginia, and now I think they decriminalized it in Ohio back in September or so. They legalized it kind of, but in West Virginia, it used to be anything above 14 grams was a felony. Ohio, it was anything above 99 grams was a felony. When you got into that felony range, you got into that scheduling of the drugs, and that's like you'd get charged for having in West Virginia 14.1 grams, the same as having a baggie of cocaine. Like they would be the same thing. West Virginia is stupid. Then Ronnie Ron doubled down on it with his war on drugs. It got like that after the 70s Nixon thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly when that happened. I'd have to look it up and just to find out for sure. Yeah, yeah, it's a state-to-state thing. It's decriminalized here in New Orleans. Other parishes will still slam you for it, though. See, that's the thing. It's always been that way, really. Like the different laws from state to state, and then you've got your federal law. So even though I remember back when they legalized it, or technically decriminalized it in Colorado. I think it was the first state, right? But I do remember it being a lot of talk back then that, well, it's still against the law on the federal level. And then they would, like all the people that were growing it and stuff in Colorado back then, the feds would come in and shut it all down. I remember during that time still watching like, Vice. Vice was doing like documentaries on it and stuff. And I remember watching some of the stuff back then. I think I was watching on Vice. Is that what it was? Vice? Something like that. I need to quit drinking this. Was it Nixon? I thought it was Reagan. I thought it was Nancy Reagan. That started the whole war on drugs and DARE, all that. Could be wrong, though. We've got a politician problem in America. They're all snakes in the grass. All of them. And we don't need 90 to 99% of them. That could be. Maybe it was. Maybe it was Nixon. Wouldn't surprise me, really. I mean, I wasn't alive at that time, so I really don't know what the climate of things were like. Really? In 71. So I would have had to have been... Yeah, Nixon. He was in after Kennedy, right? Johnson, Kennedy. Or was it Carter? Carter was after Nixon, right? Yeah. Carter was after Nixon, that's right. His brother was doing the whole Billy beer. We did that on the show. I think I've still got the can. Ford was after Carter, and then Reagan. Huh. See, Kennedy got it in 63. He got killed in 63, right? But was his term up in 64? Or did he have 3 more years to go? Was it not up? Yeah, it was probably 64. So he was just about, which you talk about a rabbit hole. I mean, everybody has probably at least partially went down the Kennedy rabbit hole. And, oh, man. Our government, again, is so corrupt and responsible for so many things like that. It's sad. 22nd of 63. Doctor Who was going on there. Didn't they just take Doctor Who off air recently? And it was delayed to the 23rd. So they delayed it one day. Huh. Interesting. Was you a Doctor Who fan, Sparrow, even back then? Before it ever started? Not the one I had. But the one I had was pretty old. It was still as fresh as one could be, I think. I think I had one that was still like carbonated. I don't remember much about what it tastes like other than it wasn't bad like everyone was saying it was. Everybody's like, oh, that's the worst beer. But, again, I'm drinking a vintage beer that is skunked out. Most old beer, unless it's real bad or real different, mostly is going to taste the same. Going to have like metallic notes to it. Typically, lots of the can breaking down in there, I suppose. It's going to be skunky. A lot of yeasty notes to it. I've had some decent vintage beers, though. I've also had some really bad ones. I'd like to have one. I'd like to have one right now, actually. 16 and 74. I think my mom was the same age as you. I think she just told me she was 20 and 78, so she was born in 58. I think. So my mom would be the same age. I don't know how old my mom was when she had me. So she was 20. What? That can't be right. That'd put her at been. She would have been 28 when she had me. No way. 58, 68, 78, 88, 98, 08, 18. So she's 67 right now? Huh. Maybe. I was thinking she was 68, so. Huh. I don't know. I can't remember. 58. Oh, yeah, her birthday being 58. You'll be 67 this month. I think that's when she said, I think that's right. But that would put her at been 28 when she had me, and I thought she was younger. That would be weird, kind of. 28? That means when I was 5, she was 33? I always thought my mom was younger than that. Huh. I know my grandma was 16 when she had my mom. My grandma quit school when she was in 9th. She did not finish 9th grade, or she did finish. Something about 9th grade, it seems like. I think she finished 9th grade. But all my grandma's brothers and sisters quit school to work on the farm. It's just what you did back then. You got enough of that schooling to get you by. That's it. I don't need that. I don't need that. No, sir. Put that up. All right. What was awesome, everybody stopping by. CT, Smitty, Jesse Michael, like guys hadn't been around a long time. Sorry for not having sound at the beginning whenever I was trying to show y'all the truck that I picked up, and it was the reason I didn't. I was going to stream earlier this week. Man, it sucks they hit Dan's box too. Freaking customs. They suck. I was 22 in 1958 having you, so my mom's mom, my grandma, would have been 16, which my grandma passed away back in 2007, a long time ago. How old would she have been? I don't know. What the heck? My Tabasco bottle. My weird Tabasco bottle's missing. Huh. I need to try to find more of those. I've only got one. Wow, 36. 36. So you got 11 more years to be 100 years ago. It's 89. Wow. I hope I live to be pretty old. I'm confident that I will. Knock on wood. Oh, it would have been tomorrow. Well, that sucks. She ain't still around, man. 89 is a long time, man. You know, I don't think this is it. I don't think this is it. I really don't. I don't think that after this, you know, everything that we're experiencing and living right now and that we see, I don't think this is it. I think that they have kind of proven that there's more, and I think that there's a lot of reasons why I personally feel like this isn't it. I don't think this is all there is. I also think reincarnation's a real thing. I think that our souls are recycled sometimes. I don't know about maybe it's all the time and only some people remember it. I think that children are an untapped information base that is possible that we should focus on more and see if they remember past life things. Because is anybody really focusing on that? I don't think so. But they'd be the ones to remember, and I think that a lot of times they do. But yeah, if you don't know much about reincarnation, I highly recommend you go down that rabbit hole and look into some of the accounts of reincarnation, because boy, are they amazing. And if you walk away from that saying that was all bullcrap, then I don't even know if we could have a conversation. It's really hard to discount some of the things that have happened when it comes to the reincarnation stories that are out there. Again, I don't know what that means, because obviously it's not all of us that remember stuff like that or that happens to. So, you know, when it comes to the reincarnation thing, I think there's also something else. I think that some souls do get recycled, but I also think that there's another place that souls go to that we refer to as heaven, I guess. It's a different place. And it seems to be more and more likely that there's something like that that goes on. Then again, we could be living in some sort of AI fabricated world right now. Maybe I'm not real. Maybe you're not real. Maybe we're just part of a simulation, part of a program. Because look at AI right now. Look at those things that are in those information bases that are in AI right now. Man, oh man, it's getting virtually impossible. I would say it is impossible to tell the difference between those AI prompt videos and real humans. So, do those images inside that computer base, do they know that they're not real while they're creating this? Do they even know? Like, I don't know. Is there a whole nother world being played out in AI right now? Like they're like this. It's just a program running with billions of people running around in it. Billions of little programmed individual programs running around. Who knows, man? Who knows? Your dad would have been 100 in August. Your dad. My dad died in 07. My dad died on November 5th, 07. And then my grandma passed away December 12th, a month and a week later. December 12th of 07. Those were the big ones so far. I don't know. There's been big ones. Those are the biggest family members. The closest family members. Mom was like my dad and my mom. Or my grandma was like my mom and my dad, is what I meant to say. Alright, well, I'm going to hop off here, clean up my mess. Maybe have a couple more ketchup Doritos, which is super weird, but I kind of hope they keep these around. Dang, he would have just been 63 in August. Wow. That's young. Dad passed in 87. My grandpa passed in 94, 95. And him and my grandma pretty much raised me. Those are good. Not so sure how I feel about the corny aspect of it. Still. But I like that slight spiciness that comes along with it. Kind of reminds me of that German spicy ketchup. I need to find big bags of those. Alright, I'm taking off. Thank you guys for hanging out. Again, sorry for the screwed up sound in the beginning. And if anybody's still here listening to this, they probably didn't catch the beginning anyway. I should be live next Saturday. I don't see why not. And maybe, depending on what happens this week, I've got a lot of like construction stuff and stuff like that I want to get this building done so we can do cool stuff like have get-togethers and have my family members down and stuff like that. But I've got this other huge thing going on at the same time, which the gas station just sold, not to me. I think I'm glad I didn't buy it. I don't know. Anyway, thanks to my patrons. Thanks to everybody who hung out. I appreciate all the old timers that popped in. And yeah, I guess all I got left to do now is say thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next live stream. Later.